Well, hello everybody and welcome. This is Tapping into Your Genius Mind, and all of you are geniuses, and you are going to just love this. Hey, Ryan, can you, or no, Roberto, can you see my the picture there, the PowerPoint? Or let's see, can you thumbs up to me, Roberto?
Yes.
Can you see that? Oh,
I
Ryan,
can, yes.
okay. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you have that and that we're recording. So let me just check that again. Yeah, we are. So here we go. And each one of you are geniuses. And oh my gosh, we had a tremendous week. And I want to share with you what has happened, because remember, you could take anything happening in the outside world and make it it's back to make those lemons lemonade. Okay. And so just so you all know, on Tuesday, we had a show, a similar one to this, a live podcast, and that was about how to connect with people. And so we have a new way now. In fact, none of these three podcasts that we've had on Tuesday, Wednesday, and today wouldn't have happened if we wouldn't have had changes in the world. And so what I did is I just started looking for the wanted on the things that I wanted, and so did a lot of you I know on here. And so we've had just amazing things. But Tuesday's podcast, and you can get these on iTunes, you can get them on YouTube and under like Dr. Hank sites. But Tuesday was how to connect with people. And it also included for real estate agents how to build their business and really have a massive business. I have one agent that has $3 million worth of business in the last 30 days. Another agent that has made $58,000 or $56,000 in commission. All this service because what we've done is we've looked for the things that we want. And so we had just a amazing week, but some of you maybe didn't. And so let me give some examples that some of you might have lost your job. And let me hold this promise to you for the future, is you're going to get a better job. Okay, some of you have decreased your income. Some of your salaries have been cut by 20% or whatever. And I can guarantee you that because of that it's going to actually in the future give you more income than you have now. Some of you maybe are unhealthy and maybe sick, and I guarantee you that will bring you more health. And so what you want to do is start looking for whatever's happening in the outside world, how to take that and find the blessing in it. And so if you're writing down, I would recommend all of you write down this, that things that are ahas to you. But one thing to write down is to start looking for the blessings. If you look and complain about things, all you're going to do is attract more of the things that you're complaining about. So, so here's a beautiful thought. And you're going to be just emerged here in the next hour or whatever that we're together. You're going to be so lost in yourself and God's thoughts, in feeling good, that you're going to forget about this whole outside world thing. And that's really one of the reasons why this outside world stuff is happening. So all of us can go within, because the kingdom is within. And that's why this is so important for you on being on this podcast. It'll give you some further clarity and direction on how do I go in? What does that mean? But let me tell you that each one of you and each one of us have a companion, have a friend with us that loves us and supports us and embraces us and guides us more than any friend you could ever imagine. And that friend goes by many names, but for the sake of probably most of our understanding, that friend is God. And the thoughts, when you're thinking a thought about anything, God is right there thinking about that same subject as you are. So think how amazing that is. whatever subject that you're thinking about. So you're thinking about your health, you're thinking about school, you're thinking about my grandchildren, I'm thinking about playing and where they can go next, Adelie and Noah, you know, how they can have more fun, okay? And actually, I'm a lot that way too, and that's what I'm looking for is more fun. And in fact, let's write down that I want to have more fun today. So I would write that down. I want to have more fun today. I want to play more today. I want to feel better today. As you just start consuming your thoughts in those type of thoughts, you will see that God will deliver those to you because remember, God is thinking with you. Now, there's a little bit of a difference though between the way God is looking at most subjects and the way you are. And the beauty is that when you look at a subject, and so let's take that, gee, I can't do something that I currently was planning on doing, but now I can't do that. So I have a bunch of trips scheduled that have been canceled, okay, around the world. And so I can look at that on the trips. Now, the way God looks at that is, hey, I got some better trips for you. It's kind of like the next thing, okay? So God is looking at this just beautifully and looking and seeing the blessing in it all and seeing the blessing in everything that is happening. Again, when you're sick, it helps you desire a better health, and then you'll have better health. That if you can't go someplace, that God is planning for you on a better place to go than where you were. And already that has actually happened in some of the trips that we have planned. And we've gotten discounts and deals from Viking cruises and all kinds of different things have happened with that. And so now here's the beautiful thing, is that when you're thinking about any thought, and God is thinking right with you on that thought, and when you feel bad about you thinking about that thought, oh, I can't have whatever you wanted, that's God's communication system to you to tell you that, hey, the way you're thinking about this subject isn't the way that I'm thinking about this subject. And so when you feel good, it means you're right in line. You're just walking right in line on your lighted path because you're thinking about this subject as God is. And so again, you can take any circumstance that's going in the outside world, anything that's going on, and you can make lemonades out of it, but you have to ask for that. Because if you don't ask for it, and because you're asking is whatever you're thinking. And so because of that, I'm going to today share with you the way life plays, if you will. You're the one that decides what you want, okay? I'll just show you a faster route to get there. And I've helped thousands of people to do this. And this is all, in fact, this was going to be a weekend live event, and the tickets were going to be $52 and all this other stuff. And it's free to you. So if anything, you could sit here right now, see in this present moment, there's always something to bless, always something to feel good about. So you say, hey, this is cool. I get this for free. But there's all kinds of wonderful things happening. So let's look at these the varying ways in order for us to connect with God and with God's mind. And I gotta get going. Oh no. Oh, hi everybody. I just flipped up to you guys. Can you guys all see? Let's see. Ryan, can you see the screen again now? Ryan? Yeah, okay, good, thank you. And so let me get to that, there we go. So to understand how this all plays, if you will, I don't use the word work, we actually have three minds, or there are three minds that we can access. The first mind that you have is your conscious mind, and we're going to talk all about that. And these, by the way, these pictures, they really don't do justice. Your conscious mind is just amazing, and it's very creative, and it's awesome. But for us to kind of get the gist of this, that there your conscious mind is, in my opinion, it's pretty ugly looking, but your mind is beautiful looking. Then you have your subconscious mind, and again, we're going to talk about how they relate to each other. But I like that picture, your subconscious mind. It actually makes everything go. It's where your beliefs are, and as the Bible says, it is done unto you as you believe. And so that's your all-powerful subconscious mind. And then we have, and we can tap into, and we can connect with God's mind. And so that was the best picture I could find of God's mind. But believe me, God's mind is way better looking than that one, but it'll do. It's a good one. It's a good one for us to be able to recognize. So the conscious mind. Well, let's talk about that, and let's think about, so this is your thinking mind, okay? What it's really intended to do is to identify what you want and why you want it. That's it. So when we get contrast, so when we get a flu, a virus that's out in the world, we say that's what I don't want. And then we ask, what do we want? And then we actually start telling about, here's what I want. I want better health. I want to be healthy. You can't say, I don't want the flu, because you actually will attract the flu then, because you are thinking about that. And that's why I would recommend for all of you to turn off the TV and don't watch any of that news or any of that stuff, because what's really going on is all of this is an inside job. It's these three minds. And so your conscious mind is used to identify what you want and why you want it. It is the beginning of all new creation, because we are here on the behalf of God, if you will, to be able to expand all that is, expand our thinking, expand our feeling beyond where it's ever been before. And each one of us, by the way, do a great job of that. Now, some of us aren't happy because we're not lined up with God, and so we're, saying, oh, I don't have enough, and, where's my stuff, and all of that stuff. But the beauty is that that's how powerful and wonderful your conscious mind is. It's all necessary because you're on the leading edge. You're on the cutting edge on everything. And so all those people that have passed away that are, let's call them angels, that they actually have a great interest and are right here with you. Like if you have a grandparent that is no longer on this earth, that grandparent is right there and you can tap into them. I tap into Christ and Buddha and all that is. So you have the opportunity. Christ said you can do these things and even more. And so why don't we? And in fact, today I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So it is the beginning of all new creation. That's how powerful your conscious mind is. However, our conscious mind is typically consumed with what I call committee members. And so it's fear and worry and doubt and complaining and blaming and shame and guilt and disempowerment. And I think a lot of us probably have felt a little disempowered on, oh my gosh, there's, this thing out there that I might get. And I guarantee you, and that's why on Wednesday's seminar that we had, it was on health, wealth, and success. And I gave you 3 steps that will give you health. And you don't have to be concerned about anything. But again, we became very fearful. Then we were told we got to stay in our homes, okay? Well, I've been having a blast in my home, and I've been discovering new things. I painted a door, and I was sitting outside. I'm seeing more sunsets. I'm more outside on my porch than I've ever been. And by the way, go outside and breathe that air. That is just great enzymes, antibodies that are being built by you. But so what happens is that our committee, using our conscious mind, which is this all-powerful conscious mind that starts everything, all the scientists have agreed that to have any desire, have any dream, to have anything in the world, it's your thoughts create energy, which is your emotion that creates matter. In other words, thoughts become things. So your all-powerful thoughts that we get lost in 97% of the time, we're lost in all this fearful thought. And then the kicker is about 93% of the things we fear, by the way, never even happened to us, okay? And so we are all powerful, but we're using it to 97% of our thought is used to think about the things that we don't want. And so that means only 3% of our mind are we using in order to create what you want, what we want. And so you obviously, I assume that you would like to have more stuff, more of your things. You'd like to have more peace, more joy, more happiness, more money, deeper, more meaningful relationships, better health. Well, if you do, all you need to do is to increase that number. And I'm going to show you today, and we're going to actually do it today on how to increase that number from the 3%. In fact, we're going to flip it to where 97% of the time you're just thinking about all the things that you desire and why you want them, and you're feeling good, and you're looking for the blessing in everything. And as you do, you'll see more blessings. I mean, I literally have just had a blast in the last 30 days, whereas, some people I talk to, they haven't, and they're living in the same world that I'm living in. And so I'm looking outside right now on my patio. This is a beautiful world. It's springtime. It's time for us to plant seeds of what we want. And those planted seeds are our thoughts. So what seeds are you planting right now for your future, for the harvest? The harvest is coming, my friends. And what are you planting? We're all farmers. And so just imagine yourself a farmer, and now you're going to go out and plant your fields. And you have all kinds of fields. You have your health field, your relationship field, your business field, money field, your feel-good field, okay, your play field. Let's play and have more fun. I was doing a meditation this morning, and I was then praying for each one of you, actually, asking to have open minds and open hearts. And then I pray for my 3 sons, and then their spouses, and then their children. And when I got to the children, I normally said, like, health, wealth, and success. And you might want to do that, by the way. It's a beautiful thing to send this to those that you love and you care about. And so I was sending it. And when I got to the grandkids zone, I do all 5 of the grandchildren and send them that. And all of a sudden, they were telling me, hey, would you include fun and play in there? Went, oh, yeah. And so then I started all over. And for all of us, let's have more fun and play. And I'd like you to write that down, is that I want to have more fun and I want to play more. And you can say today, or just keep it, play more, period. And that you'll see that God will bring you more things to play about, more things to have fun with. Okay? Now, the cool thing is, you're the commander, you're in charge. You, like, with your conscious mind, you have this magic wand, and when you raise that magic wand, which is your thoughts, that all that is, the power that creates worlds, the energy that creates worlds, that it all comes upon whatever that thought is. So what are you creating with your magic wand? And because the beauty is that you're the commander. And you're the commander, actually, to the subconscious mind that creates all things. And so let's go to the subconscious mind. So you have your conscious mind, and now you have your subconscious mind, which actually you have communicated to your subconscious mind. And basically, this is where all of your life experience come from. We each have a genie in us with unlimited wishes. You don't just have that genie with 3 wishes. What was that movie? Whatever that movie was. Okay. That you don't get 3. You get unlimited wishes. And those wishes will come true as long as you just think about those and not think about the things you don't want. Because this world really isn't about good or bad. It's about wanted and unwanted. And we each have varying degrees of what we want and what we don't want. So your subconscious mind has remembered every feeling, every thought, and every experience that you have had. And it has a dominant opinion of every subject under the sun. And that dominant opinion is called your beliefs. So that is why it is done unto you as you believe, because what you have done is you have given the belief based on your conscious mind, have then created this belief, and then the subconscious mind will make it happen for you. Most people don't have a lot of money because they've been brought up with, you know, the root of all evil is money and the filthy rich. And when you were 3 years old and, you know, your mother told you, oh, those filthy rich, and you said, well, hell, I'm not going to be filthy. And so that means not rich. And so we have a lot of things buried in our subconscious mind about all kinds of topics, every subject under the sun. And we have those beliefs. And to bury, you know, I'm a behavioral psychologist, and trying to dig up what those beliefs are. Good luck with that. That, you know, you just keep on, whatever you focus your attention on grows. And so you want to be very careful on, you know, I don't want to look at, gee, what are the bad beliefs? Because all that'll do is create more bad beliefs. So the beauty is that you have the power. I have ways for you to tap into your subconscious mind. And today we're not going to talk about that, but know that I have ways, other ways to tap into the subconscious mind. But the best way is to use God's mind to be able to change your beliefs and provide you with any solution and any answer that you want. And so it's like, oh my gosh, this is good news. I can change, improve those beliefs, that subconscious mind, and create a better life for me when I tap into God's mind. So let's talk about God's mind. And really what this is doing is, because you're made in the image and likeness of God, this is tapping in to your genius self, and why this whole thing is called your personal genius. In fact, I have a CD, I don't know if you can see it there, that called Your Personal Genius, and it's called a Paraliminal, and we'll get to that in a minute. But it is just that you're going to be able to tap in very easily, very quickly, immediately. In fact, today, you know, before we're done here, you're going to tap into God's mind, and you're going to feel great. You're going to leave here. You're going to just love all of this. That you're going to just leave here on a red carpet ride and a magic carpet ride and on a magic carpet and flying with your angels. So God's playground is your imagination. And by the way, this isn't just stuff I made up. In fact, I've channeled it. This is God's stuff that asked me to share this with you. And people throughout the ages have done this, by the way. Christ has done this, Buddha has done this, Mother Teresa has done this, Einstein has done this. I mean, all of them, what they did is they went to God and they asked God for the answers. And then part of that, and so one kind of area, if you will, is our imagination. And we can expand our imagination to be, do, and have. In fact, all of this contrast that we've had in the world recently, what it does is it helps increase our imagination on the things as easy as, what am I going to do sitting at home all day? Okay. And I had a few of you say, you know, I forgot what day it is. And how great is that? Huh? We can sit back and say, man, I don't even know what day it is. All of us have been such on a big, busy path, and do. And remember, if you do, you get do in your life. And so, you know, that we haven't had time to stop. That's why this is so beautiful, is we were all forced to stop, if you will. And so we created more things, to include creating this on Zoom and having this and me asking God, how can I serve mankind the best? And this was God's answer to me, is to share this good news. So whatever you are asking for, ask and you shall receive. And whatever you are asking for, which means you're thinking, okay, you don't necessarily have to verbalize it, but the reason why your word is so powerful, and like, for example, when you say, oh, I don't have enough time, and then you don't have enough time and it gets worse and worse, I never have enough time, that's because you're so powerful. And you've been saying, oh, I'm too busy, and then you become busier, because God will make you. This is your asking. So what are you thinking about? Because whatever you're thinking about, you're going to get it, whether you like it or not. So I would encourage all of us to think more about the things that please us, things that we like. Think about just being kinder, first of all, to yourself. You know, the worst person in the whole wide world isn't your father-in-law or whoever, that the worst person in the whole wide world to you that speaks to you in such bad ways all the time is you. Lighten up, be kind to yourself, and then be kind to others and give others a break. Allow them to be. So, what am I asking for? And then remember that when you're thinking about any topic, about that. And so what you're asking for, okay, what you're thinking about, that God's right with you. Your best friend is right there. Your soulmate, your everything is right there. And it gives you answers every prayer that you have. It's just that, gee, what are my prayers, okay? So God, though, in every subject that you're looking at and everything you're thinking about, just sees the blessing, sees the divine in it, sees the goodness in it. Okay, it sees all of that. And so, and if you're fighting and say, oh, but there's no goodness in Corona, I've already told you about all the good things that have come out of this now. Okay, so you can't look at that. If you look at that, that again, it's this next step. Where does this take us? And then when we understand, oh my gosh, it's taking us to everything and all the solutions and the answers that we desire. So the mind of God typically isn't accessed as the conscious mind is chattering. So you can only hear and receive one voice. So which voice are you listening to? And so are you listening to that chattering and all this terrible thing and oh, what are we going to do? We don't have enough money and all that chatter? Or are you being quiet and listening to God's voice? So most of the time, most people are in this chatter mode. And when you're chattering along with your conscious mind, that 97% that's just chattering about what you don't want, then what happens there is you don't allow God's thoughts, God's mind to come in. You don't let God come in. So one of the ways for you, and a technique, and again, don't have that written down, that this is coming to me and I'm channeling this, that one of the things is that I ask every morning, if you write this down, I ask this morning, okay, now, that God be with me all day. And so, and there's other words that people say, my inner being, my source be with me, and the universe be with me. But to invite God into your life, because we're not inviting God in our life when we're chattering away, whether with our mind or with our mouth, about the things that we don't like or the things that we're scared about. And so it's really a wake-up call for all of us to say, oh, this is an inside job, doesn't matter what's going on out there, that I can now start allowing God in so that I can see the blessing in everything. Some people say, to see the world through Christ's eyes. And so, and that's how, I don't want you just to see it, I want you to hear it. I want you to smell it. I want you to taste it. I want you to touch it. I want you to think it. And I want you to feel it. Because remember, your feelings is that communication system that you have with your best friend. So our three minds, let's kind of look at the relationship with that. We have our conscious mind, and our conscious mind speaks to our subconscious mind. So it's a one-way show, and then our subconscious mind makes it happen, okay? That with God's mind, we do the asking. And again, you gotta watch what you're asking for. If you're complaining, blaming, fearful, disempowered, whatever, you're gonna just get more of that. Your cup overfloweth either way that you're going to go. And so you do asking, and the beautiful thing is, God receives that and then answers you. So God speaks to us and wants to speak to us all the time. Again, we're normally chattering, but it's not like the movies on, hey, this is God and I'm telling you this. Okay, what it is when you, and I'm going to share with you in the state to be in to receive God's thoughts. And when you're in that, you'll start hearing and having thoughts, God's thoughts, that are God's answers to your prayers. So God answers every prayer. It's just, are we listening? Okay, pretty cool stuff, huh? Isn't that great? It's like, there's life right there, folks. This is it. We're the commander with our conscious mind. And all we need to do is shift what our thinking is. And that shifts our subconscious to the life experience that we have. And then we can go directly to God itself and say, hey, you know, this is what I'm asking for, answer. And God is always doing that, by the way, answering. But again, are we listening? And today, we're going to actually listen, and I'm going to share with you the techniques in order to be able to hear God, be with God, and to have it the way that you want it. You were intended, my dear friends, my divine ones, you were each intended to have your dreams come true. You intended to come down here and to live in this contrast of things you don't want, and then birth things that you do want. Without this contrast, without this virus, etc., it would not birth more than ever. It is birthing new ideas, new thoughts, new ways to connect with people, more ways to have heart, and right now, more ways to recognize it. It's an inside job. When I connect with God, that one person that's connected with God Almighty is more powerful than millions that aren't. So it's all up to you. It doesn't matter what's going on. What matters is what's going on here, not out there. So how do we access God's mind? And I'm going to share with you how, and we're going to do it. First is to have a quiet mind. And so we've been told, hey, you got to work hard, you got to be doing stuff, do, and all this stuff. And that's not how to get what you want. That all you really need to do is ask, in other words, think about what you want. And then, as Christ said, the Father does the work. You don't have to do the work. That's why I don't even use the word work. I just instead of work hard, I say play easy. And so don't call work ever again. I mean, work's a low vibrational word. It's no fun. It's disempowering. We all came here. The two magic things that we came here for is we want, and I'd write this down, what are we here for? We're here for more freedom, and we're here, the prize is joy. Well, more freedom. Some of us don't feel real free being locked up in our homes, okay? But I don't feel like I'm locked up at all. In fact, I'm all happy and love it because I'm not thinking that way, because I feel bad if I think I'm locked up. And I think about, the freedom, and how I love the freedom to be able to go out and drive my car and go to the park and do the things that, I want to, and take a walk and hug people and, all of those things. And speaking of hugging people, that every Wednesday now at noon Central Time, and again, I'd like you to write this down, every Wednesday, noon Central Time, we're going to all get together on a Zoom. I got the link and everything, and it's called Health, Wealth, and Success. And we're going to talk. It's going to be open forum, if you will. And it's a way for us, we'll hug each other, virtually we'll hug each other, and I'll send you kisses, all kinds of wonderful. Then we'll shake hands, and do all that. But then we'll also talk about, hey, let's talk about health. And so how will we get health? And so we'll all participate, and we'll all get together, because we're humans. We want to be connected. In fact, we couldn't be who we are without each other. And with each other, we're able to provide that contrast of either wanted or unwanted, and be able to birth more things. And so we, with each other, that it gets better. Well, we're going to all be together. And this is for any and everybody, kids, adults, families, so Wednesday, 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. So back to how to access God's mind. It's with a quiet mind, to receive and allow. Again, I'm going to show you how. And allow what? God's thoughts. So again, if we keep on chattering, then we can't hear God's thoughts that are coming to us all the time. So one way to look at this is Christ said, the meek shall inherit the earth. And I never really understood that. I thought the meek was, some little, shy, nonverbal guy, whatever. The meek are those that have the ability and the power and use that power in order to, and really it's love, to be able to quiet their minds and allow God into their lives, into their thoughts, into their their feelings, into their sensations. And when you do, you will see one day after the next, one breath after the next, that you will see just incredible things. Magic will happen. I have magical days every day. Okay, and they're just so fun. And I don't know if some of you follow me on Facebook. That, I mean, I was sitting on a stack of Charmin and I just loved it. Now, you know, a month ago, I would have never thought that I'd, first of all, be sitting on a bunch of Charmin, and secondly, feeling so good on top of that Charmin. And by the way, if you need any Charmin or wipes or whatever, that I can tell you how to access those, because I just asked and then I was buy all that kind of stuff, if you will. I even have on the people that ask for money, you know, at the stoplights, that I have TP now, and so I give them TP, and they're way happier than money. And so, anyways, there's a way to look at everything and have fun, and so let's think about having fun. So, another way to access God's mind is with paraliminals. And let me just share a little about paraliminals. First of all, that I have for you a paraliminal, and it's MP3, and then a whole handout. It's a big handout, of course. All this I'll send you to you virtually, but it's called Your Personal Genius and Paraliminal. And let me share with you a little about paraliminals and understand what they are. First of all, a guy by the name of Sheely actually created this and invented this. And I was so impressed with this. Over 1 million people have used this and has helped them significantly. I've helped now hundreds with the paraliminal and going to 1 million and millions. And so I bought the rights to these, and it's an amazing MP3s that tap in. This one taps into your genius mind. So we have personal genius, but I got all kinds of different ones. And these are actually sessions, but happy for no reason. That was a great session that we had, and you'll love that. Abundant money mindset. So if you want more money, seeing the unseen, being able to see the unseen, living the law of attraction. I mean, they're just amazing. And what they do, they activate your hidden intelligence, and they use more of your natural genius and accelerate your learning, all while receiving the solutions and intuitive guidance. We actually have this guidance system of our feelings, good and bad, but we also have it to where it literally tells us. Sharon has a great, my wife Sharon has great intuition, and like 2 days ago, she just said, I just know that that certificates on a trip that we were going to have, she just knew that it fell through and wouldn't do it. And she had no reason, no practical, no worldly reason to do it, but she knew intuitively. And sure enough, we ended up finding that, yeah, they stopped those certificates. And so because we, then she had that, we then asked for solutions, and we ended up getting, I don't know, $4,000 more than we expected. You know, it's just amazing when you start thinking about the things that you want. So this uses, these paraliminal uses neuro-linguistic programming and accelerated learning and pre-conscious processing, okay, some just amazing things, and taps into the universal energy. Remember that energy that creates worlds that you can tap into to get what you want. It also uses called holosync, and it's audio technology that creates electrical brainwave patterns that syncs your left and your right brain hemispheres. So it's really, really neat. And again, you'll have an opportunity at the end here on how can you get those. And I got an order form on how you can get those. And you'll just email me. And my email, by the way, is drhank@drhank.biz, or, you know, my cell 214-753-7204. And I can get those to you. And so with that, so paraliminal is one of the ways, and so there's actually a paraliminal on personal genius that's available for you. Another way is with your breath, And we're going to talk about that, about your breath, and we're going to actually do some breathing exercises because it's the fastest way for you to connect with God. Remember, we hopefully all of us are standing on solid ground here, recognizing that, you know, if I just ask God into my life, God will lead me to everything that I want and will bless me and will guide me and will answer all of my prayers. And so breath is the fastest way. And so, you know, people go like, I mean, come on, your breath. And, you know, I've actually invested thousands of dollars on breath instructors to really get this down and understand this. People go, you know, you must really be something else spending all that money. Well, what I was doing is investing into to help you and to help the world to be able to understand just how important that breath is and the proper technique on breath. And then through meditation and guided meditation. And so I was asking a few people, oh, do you meditate every day? And they said no. And like, I actually, when they responded no, I was shocked, you know, like I meditate, I don't know, 3 times a day and just love it. I'm flying with my angels all the time. And then I recognized, oh yeah, you know, probably most people don't meditate. So I'm going to talk a little about meditating. And I'd like you, if you haven't meditated, that I want you to start meditating and just do it for a couple days. You know, just give me a break, just say, what the heck, I'm stuck at home anyways. I might as well just breathe a lot and do this meditation, which is doing nothing, but it's actually doing everything. And that, because it's an inside job, and what you're doing is you're changing the inside job, those beliefs and your thoughts, and you're getting these godly thoughts, and you're tapping into all that is in order to get you all that you want. So meditation and guided meditation, again, we're going to do both today. So your breath, what time do we have? Yeah. So we're still doing good. And, you know, it'll probably be, well, just hang in there, that it'll all be worth it, my friends. So let's talk a little about breath. That one great way to quiet the mind, remember I shared with you, we need to quiet our mind. And by the way, good luck on quieting the mind. Try not to chatter, and we'll actually do a little of that in a minute here. But your breath quiets the mind. In the Bible, the word spirit actually means breath. And so I'm an ordained minister, and so I have, you know, oh my gosh, what? Spirit means breath? I thought it meant whatever, the Holy Spirit, and, you know, how is that? And yeah, we each have that Holy Spirit in us, and that's called the breath. And the fastest way to connect with God is through your breath. So this is important, and it will take a little training. I can tell you from experience that for me to breathe the proper way, that I had to think about it, and I had to discipline myself to breathe properly. And again, I'll share with you how. And then here's what has happened. That when we stop our breath, and typically when we're in a fearful situation, which all of us have been in lots of fearful situations, what happens is we stop breathing. We cut off our connection to God and all there is. So when we stop breathing, we go, oh, like that. What happens is we stop our thought, we stop our emotion, and we stop the flow of the natural in our body, and that causes dis-ease. So it's not disease. Oh, I got this disease. It's not that disease. It's you being at so D-I-S dash ease, being at dis-ease. So we have stopped everything, and because of that, it clogs us up. It clogs our thinking up, and we can't expand our imagination, God's playground. It slows up our emotions to where we're not able to fully show our love to others, okay? And then most of us are guarded. In fact, we've been told to be guarded. There's nothing to guard about. There's nothing you need protection for. You got it all. But see, we think we gotta be guarded. And so, and we've been brought up that way, you know, as children, we were told, don't talk to those strangers. And I think, what the heck? They give you candy, you know, it's a great thing. But people are, like because they're taking the exception and they're saying, oh, I don't want the exception to happen to you. And then you're actually creating it, because remember, whatever you think about expands. So like for those of you with children, stop worrying about your children. Stop fearing for your children. You're just bringing them worry and fear. Instead, send them love. Send them well-being and know all is well, because they each are their own deliberate creators too. And that they can tap in. They're at one with God. They can tap in. In fact, they're more at one. They're listening to God more. And that's why they have more fun, why they play and do all that stuff, if you will. But if you focus on the behaviors they don't like and keep on focusing, it's just going to get worse. And to my grandchildren, the kids love this, by the way, hearing this stuff. As they go, yeah, Mom and Dad, I told you I was right. And they are. Just like when you were being brought up, you were told, your parents said, oh, I know what's best for you. And you said, no, you don't. I know what's best. And you do, because you have that guidance system. So to clear those emotions and those thoughts and those cells that got kind of stuck, okay, it's through a breathing technique. And we're going to just do it right now because I want you to get into breathing and this deeper breathing, okay? So I'd like you to breathe in real strongly, okay, 3 seconds, and then breathe out 3 seconds. And so, ready? After me. How do you feel? A little dizzy? Yeah, and so you're freeing now. And don't be afraid to breathe hard for whatever reason that people don't like breathing hard, whatever. Breathe hard. I don't care who's in the room, and just laugh about it and whatever, and just tell them you're fine and you're not having a heart attack. And so this will allow the flow. And speaking of flow, one of the things I'd like you to write down is, I want to be in the flow of life. When you're in that flow of life, like I just called right now, I called birdies because I love the birds, Mother Nature, and one just flew by and then I heard one. And it's just, you get into that flow where you pick up the beauty in every moment. The beauty of you, the beauty of God, the beauty of your angels, the beauty of this world, the beauty of other people. It's just a glorious, glorious life. And this is the way for you to do it. So I want to be in the stream of life. Another great one is I want to have the vibration of my angels, or I want to fly like my angels. I want to fly with my angels. Your angels are high flying. They have no resistance. They're just pure source energy, pure love. And they're there to guide you and help you too. And they go gather up all your goodies. Go ask your angels. Have you ever asked your angel, could you please go gather up all of my goodies? Like I want harmonious and kind and loving people. I want more business. I want more money. I want more laughter. I want to mainly feel good, because all those things that you want, it's only for you to feel good. Why? Because when you feel good, you're lined up with God. And then you're at one with God, and then you feel good. It doesn't matter about any of this stuff that's going on out there. And then you become a magnet to attracting the things that you desire. So this will, that 3 second breathing. So if you like have any dis-ease or whatever, and Lynn, we talked about your physical health and that's a great story with, I show people on how to heal themselves, and I've healed thousands of people, and from cancer or whatever. And like Lynn's on the call right now, and she, basically couldn't get out at all. And gosh, our last live session, there she was, and so she wants more health. You bet. And so Lynn, do that 3 second breathing in and out, and do that for a minute, and do that several times per day, and it'll just start clearing you out. And then so now I'm going to talk about meditation. And we're going to actually do a meditation, and then we're going to do a guided meditation. But meditation, and then throughout the day, that the proper breathing is to do 6 breaths a minute. And the easy way of doing that is 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out. And when you breathe in, you want to breathe in all the way and have it going, breathing in all the way to where it's going down to your toes. Okay, so just imagine. So let's breathe in 5 seconds, all the way down to your toes, and then breathe out 5 seconds. So feeling better already, aren't you? Like if you have a headache, it'll get rid of the headache. If you're stressed out. Also, just a side note, if you're in kind of a panic mode, if you will, I've been helping people with panic attacks because the outside world, they allowed them to impact them, which you don't have to. You're the only one that allows anything into your life. And so it's simply doing this, that I actually have a paraliminal for anxiety. And so if you have anxiety, that there's a paraliminal for that. And right now it's free for like 6 weeks. I don't own the rights for that particular one, but that one is free for the next 6 weeks, just to help people out, to help all of us out. We're all here to love each other and help each other. And so let's talk about meditation. The best way is to lay down. I don't want you to lay down right now, but I do want you to relax. And just telling yourself to relax. Closing your eyes is a great way to go within too, because you're not looking at the outside world. And then the question to ask, and I'd like you to write this down, that whenever you're doing a meditation or guided meditation, so I'm going to have a guided meditation for you again on this order form, that you'll have a guided meditation, and I'm going to do that guided meditation live today, but know that it's also available on a separate recording. But the first thing you want to always ask, so close your eyes, breathe in deeply, and then ask, I want to quiet my mind now. And as you begin to quiet your mind, just, right now, just breathe deeply. And I want to quiet my mind now. The key is to be quiet, not to be thinking about anything, but just to allow it go. You can focus on something, and I'm going to give you something as we do this guided meditation. I'm going to give you some music. You can listen to the room. The room has a sound. It has AC going or whatever, but there is always actually sound that you can just focus on doing that. And then you count 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. And so my recommendation on, as far as just the meditation, is instead of having one real big number and having to breathe that many times, that what I like doing is 5 times in, 5 times out, and doing that 21 times. And then I do it 7 times, and then I do it 3 times, and then I do it 1 time. And so if you want to take like a picture of that screen there, and so that basically is meditation there. And what you do, if you'll just focus on your breath, okay, ask to quiet your mind and then focus on your breath. And if you'll just focus on your breath and counting, that will clear your mind to where you'll be able to get the thoughts from God, and where you'll be able to tap in to your genius self. So your genius self isn't gotten to by working hard. That's going upstream. It's not by, telling yourself about bunch of stuff and being tough on you and being exhausted and sacrificing on none of that stuff. This is a fun, joyous ride, folks. And so to be able to do that, and typically I would do that for 15 minutes and then go back to your breathing, the sound of the room, and asking to quiet your mind. So with that, we're going to actually do a guided meditation right now, and you're going to just love. We're going to do the same kind of things, relax, then do the breathing. We won't do quite as much as this breathing. And so I have, again, a guided meditation, but we're going to actually do that meditation right now. And let me see if I can get it going here. Ryan, can you hear that music?
Yes.
Okay. And how do I sound? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Music good or down or?
That sounds good to me.
Okay, great. All right. So I'd like you to close your eyes, relax. If you're driving, stop driving. And let's ask to quiet our mind. And by the way, this song I can send you as well. Magical sound. And I want you to start breathing in. So breathe in 5 seconds. Breathe out 5 seconds. In 5 seconds. Focus on your deep breathing. Breathe in 5 seconds down to your toes. And as you breathe out, send your love to the world. And in this journey together, we shall tap in to our genius mind, the mind of God and divine intelligence. Breathe in and breathe out and tell yourself to relax. You will now be given new answers, solutions, and you are now a magnet to your desires. Breathe deeply and know that the light of God is now moving towards you. You are opening up your divine self and the nature of your genius mind. God's light is penetrating your mind, illuminating your divinity, and revealing to you the truth of you and your higher mind and divine self. Your ideas are now fresh and new. Complete new ideas with answers that free yourself of your thoughts and beliefs and opinions of yourself and others. You will now be open to a greater ability to purposely choose wanted thoughts. The veil is being lifted, and you are embracing the freedom to a higher life, a better life, in the mind of God. Breathe in and breathe out. Open yourself to the light that reveals God's mind, having an illumined mind. Open to the light of your soul. Just by thinking this, you're opening to the light, and your soul is called to you. Your inner illumination is increasing. Sense this illumination, this warmth that is boiling from you. And feel the love, your soul, flowing through you. Your depth of love within you is now being expressed fully. And at this deep level, you are experiencing the divinity within you. The light of your soul is lighting up even brighter now, and the core of light within you begins to glow, to radiate, and be more visible to you. Breathe in. Breathing in the breath of God. Breathing out your love for the world. The divine self begins to pull you into itself, and you are opening to the consciousness of your divine self, the light of you pouring through you and radiating through you. The mind of God is upon you, dear one. You are more aware of your inner world, filled with all the things you have ever wanted and asked for. In this godly light, you sense your mind like a room. What can you do to make this room even more beautiful? Can you add more windows, brighter paint on the walls, colorful flowers on the table? Your added windows and bright, glorious paint and colorful flowers has opened your mind to see more, to have more answers and have more solutions to all that you desire. Sense the sun of the divine self illuminate this room where the walls become transparent and it is brighter, it is more fun, it is warmer, and more loving, and you are kinder and more gentle. More light pours in, and you are in the midst of the light, in nature, in beauty, in love. The light is brighter, more beautiful, and the walls are now gone. And there's a sense of spaciousness, a sense of connection to the radiance of the divine that is being revealed in you and all around you. Allow your radiance to grow as a pillar of light is spreading out further and further, going beyond your body, going beyond your imagination. You have become this light, divine one, blessed one. The radiance, the divine essence for which you are. You feel the sense of God with you now, as you now. It is easy for you to have this mental illumination, to be at one with God, tapping into your genius self, your divine self. Breathe in and breathe out. And now let the Father do the work. Let God do your breathing. You now see your pure nature and perfection. A greater light is being offered to you. A new space of illumination is being offered. A greater illumination of the mind that you have ever experienced and ever imagined. It is your intention to tap into the mind of God, and so it is done. Accept this light, this love. Allow God into your life and your consciousness right now. You are in the clearest light, the light of the divine that is shining as you now. The quality of light and consciousness clears and opens for you a new potential, a new you, a you that is the light of the world. Breathe in, breathe out. Sense your clarity and brilliance that is being born in you right now, in this moment. Sense the expansion, the increased illumination, and how the light is getting brighter with more vision, more understanding, and more awareness. You are awakened with the spiritual gift of channeling infinite intelligence, able to see life clearly with all the solutions and answers for you and the world. Blend yourself now with this divine light. Let your divine self grow even more radiant. Sense it, feel it, mentally see it. It's your imagination, God's playground, now expands to clarity, depth of feeling, pure joy and freedom. The light of your divine self radiates and clears away your desires and the growth of thought, feeling, going to a new level beyond where you have ever been before. You are now fully open to the divine self in this radiance, the divine light and love of who you are. The nature of your thoughts are revealed to a new, higher, brighter, and angelic level. Your thoughts and feelings shall continue to expand now. God is happy, you are happy, and all is well and getting better forevermore. You will now have new insights, new revelations that take you to the next steps of your divine path and all your dreams. Breathe in and breathe out. And I now invite you back into the room. Feel yourself sitting in the room, present. Now open up your eyes and welcome you and the world, God, all that is. And so it is. So how is that?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you, Dr.
Welcome back, everybody.
That was wonderful.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah, that was beautiful. So a few things. Again, remember Wednesday at 12 o'clock Central Time, Health, Wealth, and Success. And then I also have a prayer of oneness that I'll send all of you. And so if you want this prayer of oneness, that just let me know and I'll send that to you. And then let's see, I also have, so I have a order form to be able to order the MP3s, the paraliminals, the meditation, some of my books that I have conscious mind treatment. This will help you more with understanding. I also have daily upliftment, and that's just a daily way to be able to put you in that stream of life. And then encouragement, and it's different topics of subjects under the sun, if you will, that will help you to see the blessing in whatever subject that is. And so we're going to end on a song, and we're going to do a little singing again today. And then after that, we'll be open to asking any questions and just talking about what you like best or whatever. And so I call this a Genius Mindset Sing-Along. And so follow after me. And Genius Mind is my new game.
Is my
Mind is my new game.
game.
That is my middle name.
That is my middle name.
Like to laugh and have more fun.
Laugh and have
Have more fun.
We are the chosen ones.
We are
God's
chosen ones.
I allow God's thoughts to flow, ho, ho.
I love
Thoughts to flow, ho, ho.
Then I go beyond and grow.
And I go beyond the grow.
Expect to have it now.
I expect to.
Down.
Oh, good. For we now understand how.
For we know
Sound off
Down.
God's thoughts.
God's thoughts.
Sound off
Sound off.
God's thoughts.
God's thoughts.
Hey.
Hey.
So there we go. So what did you guys like best?
Meditation.
Yes.
That meditation was good. Huh?
Well, the information too, because it really it brings it down to the fundamentals, easy and apply. Yeah, and it's that application. Yeah, so it's Yes.
just not blue sky, even though it is.
Yeah, right.
It's the actual ways on how to to breathe, for example, and like I say, I have these meditations for you, and I can also send, if you like that song, it's called Birth to Soul, and so I have that also that I can send you, and you guys just email me or whatever. Other good ideas?
Hey,
Other
Dr.
thoughts,
Hank,
questions?
on the
Dr. Hank, I have a
paraliminal,
question.
on the paraliminal, are you gonna send that out, or how are we gonna get that?
Yeah, so if you will ask me for that, I will send you the form with the different things, and you'll check off what things you want in that form. There's paraliminals, there's the meditation, there's the books on that. And so I'll send that form, you send that back to me, and then I'll send it to you. And the cool thing is fortunately, I have everything to where we can do this virtually, so I got it all on MP3s, and I have the books,
good.
soft copy. And if you want hard copy, I can even send you that. You'd have to send me your address, though, if you want that. Yeah, other questions, comments?
Dr. Hank, I have a question.
Yes.
Teresa. I want to know from your wisdom how to, I know that we can lead by example with others in our sphere of influence, but I want to know what is the best way, do you think, to share this wealth of what we have with you and leadership? And
Some ways that I would recommend that, we have this week really was just an incredible week. On Tuesday, we talked about how to connect with other people in this new environment that we're at. Wednesday was health, wealth, and success, and the 3 easy steps for that, for you to be healthy, and it'll also get you wealth and success. And then, of course, today on how to tap into God's mind. And so I would suggest that, and we're not here to fix the world. So, people have to be ready. So, some people, like if you tell them, hey, how to tap into God's mind, they just won't understand where that's coming from. So kind of feel out where they're at. But I would also ask people to attend. Again, you're saying, hey, how do we share this good news? And so one is to say, hey, here are 3 different shows that were on last week, to include this one, because I'll have this out probably Monday. I'll have this out and by Monday. And so when you get that out, that you'll be able to offer them, that. And what I would do is I would actually get the link and send it to them. Make it easy for everybody. The other thing is invite them on Wednesday. Because Wednesday, and again, most of you know that I'm in real estate. A lot of you are real estate agents that this is about real estate, but everything else too. And so we're not just, on Wednesday, we're not going to talk about real estate per se at all, but it'll impact, our service and how to be able to do that. Just so you know, for real estate agents, we will have a podcast on Tuesday and at 11 o'clock. And that will be, or I'm sorry, at noon. We'll have it at Tuesday at noon. And that's where I'll share with you how to increase your passive income during these times. And that's going to be the topic on that one. So did that answer your question, Teresa?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Other questions, comments?
And Dr. Hank, are you going to send, do we just need to send a request on how to get that link for Tuesday and Wednesday?
Yes, and so if you'll just let me know, and then now I am going to send it out to my list, but whether you're not on the list, it would be best because it's on top of mind right now. If you want to attend Tuesday and Wednesday, just send me an email and I'll send you the link, because everything will be on Zoom. And again, everything's a blessing. Like, this, like I've been able to impact more people, like Jillian, you probably wouldn't have been, at this, event. And so there's always blessings in everything. And this is one of them, I'm so happy that you were able to join us, and now you'll be able to join us Tuesday and Wednesday too.
I'm very excited about it. I mean, you came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I didn't even know where you came from. but in my meditations, I've been asking for a lot of what you're teaching. So I am so excited. I mean, even last night, I was asking for exactly what you taught today. It's glorious. It's amazing.
And Jillian, this is how it works, how it plays, if you will. It's the law of attraction, and basically, God knows where you are, God knows where you want to go, and then there's this path of least resistance. And where I come in is I'm kind of this angel, your guardian angel that comes in on that path. So the good news, hopefully, is that you're not only going to be with me in this lifetime, but now for all of eternity. Can you handle it?
As long as you don't tap into all those belief systems, we'll be fine.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah, and this is just the beginning. You'll see that everything will improve. Your income, your basically your health, wealth, and success
I'm so excited.
Will increase. Yeah. Other questions, comments?
Dr. Hank, you mentioned the free paraliminal on anxiety. That's something that could help a lot of people. Do you have information on that?
Yes. And so, Lynn, if you'll send me an email on that specific one, you can, on one email, you can ask me for everything you want. But, like if you want the anxiety paraliminal, that is available to us, and I'm going to actually send that out to my whole list. And again, who's on my list or not, I don't know. So because of that just to make sure, send me an email requesting the paraliminal on anxiety. And normally I don't use the subject wouldn't be something I don't want, which is anxiety, right? And that's why most of my titles, but this is their paraliminal that they have, because the #1 selling book titles in America for the last year have been a subject with anxiety in them. And so it's on the top of a lot of people's minds. Unfortunately, it doesn't have to be, because see, none of us were anxious in the last hour. We didn't have any anxiety. Like, we felt great. We feel super right now. We're flying with our angels. And so there's really no need. But the outside world influenced them, and they accepted, you know, the TV stuff and, you know, whatever, and all this, whatever, you know, that, I mean, it's as easy as this, that I'm going to be healthy. I am healthy, and I'm going to be healthy. You know, and then people say like, oh, but I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I know exactly what's going to happen in the future. Something even better. So keep it general on that. But yeah, that's how to get that, Lynn, if you'll email me that. Other questions, comments? What did you like best? Does somebody else want to comment about what was kind of an aha for you? Valerie, what did you have as an aha?
I like the connection to God by breathing.
Yeah.
That's what I like the most.
Yeah. It's really incredible. And see, we just have forgotten on how easy and simple all this is, that, you know, we've kind of most of us have made our lives complex. Again, this has been a blessing to kind of slow us all down and kind of look at life and look at, you know, what we're doing and what's important to us and everything, and really to prioritize. But life is really very simple and easy, that we just breathe deeply, quiet our mind, and then ask for what we want and think about what we want. And that's it.
Hey, one quick thing I was curious about, because you had mentioned this, how the blessing of being able to connect with people where we may not have normally been able to connect if we were sitting in, which we'd all love to be sitting in the library together, having Maria's lunches that she makes, or not makes, but brings to us and stuff. But and I know I had one person on from New York, but I would imagine there's people from I don't know where everyone's from, but if there's someone not from DFW, like let's hear where you're from, maybe, if that's if you want to do that, Dr. Hank. I think that
sure. If anybody wants to say, if you're outside of, let's call it Dallas, Fort Worth, if you want to chime in, that I think we had someone, like you say, New York, Florida, California, Salt Lake City, and then a bunch of places. I think in Texas too.
Yeah, there was just Elizabeth on the chat, who I know, she was on from New York City. So
yeah, that's great. That's
so cool.
Great. Yeah. So it's all over the U.S. and you know, I have a lot of like book clubs around the U.S. And I just kind of randomly find out, but they'll take a book like Conscious Mind Treatment, and they'll go through it. And you know, have a group and go through and do it. So there's some cool stuff going on all across America, and great things going on in the world. You know, it's just like, this is just, the future is so bright for all of us, and to recognize that, and to just say thank you, and to ask, to look for, where is that brightness? You know, where is my future bright? And because it is, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to share one other thing. Last night I went out for a walk, and I was sitting there talking to my brother on the phone, and I heard this bird chirping, and I was like, man, that sounds like it's like really close to me. And I looked down, and there's this beautiful bird that had these black and white stripes across its chest. It was only from about his chest and then up to his like little beak area, had these black and white stripes, and he was just sitting there. He didn't move, and he was just like, I just started like having a little conversation with him, and just like, hey, what's going on? What are you here to tell me? And he was talking, and just all peaceful and cool. And see, I would have never had that experience if we wouldn't be in the moment that we are now. I wouldn't have had the moment, which happened about 15 minutes earlier. Someone's dog ran up behind me while I was on the phone, scared the bejesus out of me. Like, everyone's talking about the coronavirus being scary. No, that freaked me out. And I was like, whoa, what the hell happened? I was like, thought someone was attacking me, or this freaking happy dog wanted to be petted. And the great thing, here's what I love about dogs. They don't, look, I understand the social distancing, all that. They don't care. They just like, it comes right over. It's like, pat me, pat me, pat me. It's beautiful, you know. It's just like, and to me, that is that's that God connection that we're talking about here today. If I just open up my heart, open up my mind, more and more of that is revealed to me. And I think that's and that's what I experienced here today with the meditation and slowing down our mind. And you mentioned it, like, just get off the TV, because ultimately what that does is it slows down our breathing and we start getting anxious. Anytime we get anxious, our breathing gets shallow and we start breathing from our chest, not from deep down within our toes, as you were sharing. And when we do that breath, everything just starts calming down. It starts calming down, and everything, that just peace starts coming over, and it's all beautiful and wonderful. And with love and with God, there's nothing to fear. There really isn't. And we have Dr. Hank, so it's like, what? I mean, all right, anyone who's been on these ever with Dr. Hank, it doesn't matter what's going on in the world, he's always just so uplifting and positive, and it's just freaking awesome. I love you, man.
I love you. And my favorite part out of these is this end part here, where we talk and we're all able to connect, and share things with each other. And the only agenda is for all of us to become our greatest possibility and to be happy, and so that's where we are. We stand in that right now, in that divine holy ground. We stand happy and knowing that all is well and getting better.
One of the things that that I found in my meditation the other day is connecting the divine and the Mother Earth.
Yeah.
And I imagine walking through this earth with this connection that goes right in the middle of me, and it's flowing back and forth, and I'm just walking the earth, like all around me, but I'm walking with this light stream that's flowing through me. And it's really great what you did with the breathing, because I forget to breathe, and I have this is going to help me with quieting my mind, because my mind is always just and so that's an answer to one of my prayers, is to figure out how to quiet my mind so I can hear God's voice.
There you go. And Billy, and I just love that you're in the flow, and being in that flow, it's just a glorious life. And I always say that I have my head in the clouds and my feet are rooted in Mother Earth. And so I used to pretty much just have my head in the clouds, and then I got hit with cars and stuff. I better get grounded. And so now I again, my head's in the clouds, and my feet are grounded in Mother Earth. So I love that whole idea that you did with the finger to Mother Earth, and then all it is, and the heavens, and then you in the middle, and you're the conduit.
Right, exactly.
And when we understand on how each one of us is so critical and important to all that is, to God, to the universe, on that, we're the happening place. This is what's going on, that the happening place is right here. That's why all that have walked before us are right with us. We can call on, I call on Steve Jobs when I got a technology problem, and he does just incredible stuff to help me, that I call on, and so I mean, we literally can call on all of these, and that, but this is the happening place. So they're here, but we can't say, oh, they're gone, and we need to invite them in and make sure we're asking for the things that we want. But we are so important to all that is, to make it to where it is, to have the eternity. We put the eternity into everything. We also expand everything and expand thought and feelings beyond where it's been. And each one of us play a critical role in that. And it's just so satisfying and wonderful to know just how blessed we are, just how divine we are, and our self-esteem, why we deserve to have our self-esteem flying high, which most people don't have very high self-esteem. The fact is, we're critical to all it is.
How could you have a self-esteem when you turn on the TV You gotta turn that TV off because there's a self-esteem sucker.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike Alexander, how are you doing, my friend?
I am doing well, Dr. Hanks.
Great, great.
Yes,
It's
I appreciated the piece about quieting the mind as well.
Mm.
So the young lady that was just speaking about the mind, that's my committee. My committee has a tendency to try to take control from time to time. I'm working on that committee.
Well, Mike Alexander is just an amazing person. All of us are, but Mike specifically because he's speaking. First of all, how do you like that voice of his? Deep voice. But he's a first responder. He actually has been all kinds of things, a police chief and the head of cities, and now he and Mike Wilson, they together help first responders and help them with their mindset and their understanding each other and working better together. And then they've called me in to help them with specifically mindset and on what they're thinking about, because there's a high suicide rate in that industry because they're thinking about what they don't want and then they attract that in the law of attraction. So Mike and Mike, who are both on the call here today on the show, that they're really just incredible people that that are helping those first responders that are so critical, right now. So our hats off to you, and we thank you both, you, Mike, and Mike Wilson there.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you too.
Yeah, you
It's
bet.
awesome.
You bet. Yeah, and make this easy, that just know that it's easy to quiet your mind. I don't care what has been in the past. See, our past experience typically isn't our friend. Just forget about, oh, it was tough to quiet my mind. Just forget all that stuff. No longer say that this is easy now. You know the steps. You do the breathing, do that counting, because that helps kind of keep your mind off it. Listen to, and again, I have that music. If you want that music, I just love that music. You can just get lost in that, so what people say is that some people say, oh, Dr. Hank, you're just in La La Land, and I say, yeah, and you wish you were in La La Land with me. And the beautiful and the beautiful thing is that we're all in our own La La Land now, and happy and knowing that heaven's right here on earth. And I love you all. Thank you so much for coming today. And then let's keep up the communication. And then again, if you're in real estate on Tuesdays, and then for everybody on Wednesdays that we're going to have these noon events, and something that was created because of what's going out in the world, we just made it better. And we made those lemons into lemonade. Okay.
Hey, Dr. Hank, I have a question for you before we leave.
Sure.
My committee.
Yeah.
Is wars between my God self that wants to live in joy and in La La Land.
Right.
And it tells me that that I better be careful of that because I'll miss something.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss something.
Right.
And then while I'm in La La Land, something's going to happen to me or to my physical or something. There's like this warning.
I'm going to interrupt you. Don't go anymore because I don't want to hear. I get it. I know what you're saying. So here's my loving counsel on that is, first of all, that the happening place is within you, the kingdom within. And so if you're Christian, Christ say, the kingdom within you. And so this is where the kingdom is. And in that La La Land, in, your mind and your heart that connected with God, your higher self, this is the happening place. There's nothing you will miss. God won't allow you to miss all the good stuff, all the wanted stuff by you being connected, that you'll have it all. So the counsel that I always have on contrast. So in this case, your contrast, the world's contrast right now is this virus thing, the flu, okay, that's the world's contrast. Our own contrast is our committees. And so Jillian, specific, you were speaking about the committee. So here's what you do, is you look at that contrast, whether it be the virus or my committee, and you simply point to it. So you could go just like this, is the committee is this little committee, you know, in here. And you just say to the committee or to the virus or whatever you don't want, and you just say, with no energy, you don't put a charge in it, you just say, this is what I don't want, okay? This is what I don't want, and those are those words, use those exact words, this is what I don't want. And then say and ask, what do I want? And what will happen is, you now have just taken yourself from what you didn't want, and you have just risen up to God asking, what do I want? And then you will get thoughts, circumstances, events, people that will give you a better life than you had before. Because Jillian, what you're now on, and all of us on this call, is that we are right now creating a better future for us, a better life for us. And because of all the stuff, whether it be the committee, whether it be divorces, whether it be the economy, a lost job, all of that stuff is all a blessing, because now it has blessed you specifically on, you know what, this committee, the only devil in the world is this damn committee. And that I have a choice. I have the choice to choose who I'm going to listen to. And so next time the committee starts saying, oh, you're going to miss whatever, that's what I don't want. What do I want? And I want God's thoughts. I don't want these devil thoughts, if you will. All they are is committee thoughts. And they're only thoughts. So, you know, I've had people where they come to me and they say, oh, Dr. Hank, you know, this is happening, this is happening. I go, you sound like you got 100 men with knives ready to knife you, and there's nobody here. You know, there's nobody here. It's all in your head, and it's all the committee, because the fact is, there is only, Jillian, and to all of us, there is only well-being that flows. The only reason why we can't receive God's well-being is if our thoughts cut it off. And so we have decided now, together individually and as a whole, we have decided that we no longer are going to cut ourselves away from God and have these resistant thoughts and these committee thoughts and all that, that I'm going to allow, and I'm going to be in a pure state of allowing, and allowing the well-being of God to flow to me. And that well-being is so beautiful and so majestic and so divine that there's no end to this beautiful well-being, and it'll give us beautiful thoughts and people and circumstances and events, and more money and more freedom and more laughter and more joy. A great, beautiful thing to ask for is, I want to laugh more today, and I want to smile more today. Reason why is God goes out, or, you know, let's call it, I'd like saying our angels go out and gather our goodies, and next thing you know, you'll be laughing and you'll be smiling. You know, it's just incredible. You go, oh my God, you know. And so start watching, Jillian. Start watching for it as you start asking, and no longer do you give a charge to that committee. You just listen, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, yeah. And
Thank
so,
you.
and it plays out every time. It's very effective, you know, to do that. Good. Other thoughts? Other comments? Divine ones, I love you. Know that all is well and getting better. That we will see you either Tuesday and or Wednesday, and just be in contact with me. Let me know how I can help, and I love you all.
We love you too,
Thank
Dr. Nate.
Bye.
Bye.
Da, 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 da,
Thank you,
da,
Dr. Hank.
Bye.
the happy dance. Hey, speaking of that, can we do the happy dance? Are you up for the happy dance? We're doing the happy dance. There you go, Teresa. Teresa does a happy dance in the parking lot. Oh, it's good. See, we asked for laughter, and there you go. I love you all. Have a great day. God bless
Thank you, Dr. Hank.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.